Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at Java. You know, the language that kind of runs everywhere. Android apps, Netflix, tons of stuff.
Right. It's pretty much unavoidable.
Exactly. But behind that, there's this, well, surprisingly bumpy history and some genuinely hidden bits inside it. Okay, let's get into it.
Sounds good. Where do we start the origin story?
Yeah, let's do that. So way back, like 1991, Sun Microsystems, there was this thing called Project Green.
Ah, yes. James Gosling and his team.
Right. They were apparently fed up with how complex C++ was getting, and they had this idea, this vision for a language where you could, write code once and run it anywhere. That was the big promise.
Yeah, pretty revolutionary idea for the time.
Totally. They first called it Oak, apparently after a tree Gosling could see from his office window. Kind of nice, right?
Oh, yeah. But that didn't stick.
Nope. Trademark problems. So sometime in '94, apparently during some big brainstorming session fueled by a lot of coffee, the story goes, they landed on Java.
And that write once, run anywhere thing, that became its mantra.
It really did.
Yeah.
But that vision, it immediately set them up for a clash, didn't it, with Microsoft?
Oh, absolutely. Instantly. Microsoft back then, Windows was everything.
Yeah.
And this idea of code running just as well on other systems, that was a direct threat to their dominance.
What did they do?
Well, they pulled out their classic playbook. People call it embrace, extend, extinguish.
Right, they've heard that phrase.
So they licensed Java, that's the embrace, but then they created their own version, and they packed it full of Windows-specific features, things that wouldn't work anywhere else. That's the extend.
Trying to break the run anywhere pride.
Exactly. Actively trying to fragment it, tie developers back to Windows. The extinguish part, was the goal, make the original cross-platform Java irrelevant.
Wow. So this wasn't just like corporate competition. This got serious.
Oh, it got very serious. Sun Microsystems took them to court, sued Microsoft in '97.
For how much?
$1 billion, claiming breach of contract, messing with the trademark. It was a massive fight.
$1 billion. Did they get it?
Well, no, not quite. They eventually settled in 2001 for $20 million. Still a lot of money back then.
Yeah, it's still significant.
But really, it wasn't just about the cash. It felt like a fight for the soul of Java, for that whole idea of platform independence, especially as the internet was really taking off.
It kind of cemented Java's identity then, the cross-platform fighter.
Definitely. It forged that reputation early on.
Okay, so that's the turbulent history. But you mentioned hidden stuff in the code, too.
Yeah, moving on from the corporate battles, there are some fascinating things tucked away inside Java itself. Some are incredibly powerful, others maybe just a bit weird.
Intriguing. Let's start with the powerful stuff. I heard something about sun.misc.Unsafe. Sounds ominous.
It is kind of ominous.
Yeah.
Developers sometimes call it a Pandora's box or like a secret backdoor into the JVM, the Java virtual machine.
Okay, so what does this unsafe thing actually do?
Yeah.
Why is it even there?
Well, it does exactly what the name suggests. It gives you really low-level capabilities that Java normally protects you from.
Like what?
Like directly manipulating memory addresses, think C or C++ style planers almost, performing what are called atomic operations without needing locks, which is super important for high-performance concurrent stuff.
Right, preventing data corruption when multiple threads are involved.
Precisely. And you can even do things like create objects without actually running their constructor code.
Whoa. Think why? Why have this backdoor?
Good question. It wasn't meant for everyday developers, really. It was built for the Java engineers themselves for internal use inside the JDK, the Java Development Kit.
For performance?
Exactly. For building some of Java's own high-performance features, like parts of the concurrency libraries, or for things like efficient off-heap memory storage, where you manage memory directly, bypassing the usual Java garbage collection. Think like ultra-low latency financial systems.
So super specialized.
Yeah.
And risky.
Oh, definitely risky. Extremely. If you misuse unsafe, you don't get Java's usual safety nets. You can crash the entire JVM hard.
Yikes. Okay, so Pandora's box seems like a good name for it. What about the weird stuff? You mentioned something less critical.
Yeah. There's a lighter side. There's this little trick, maybe you could call it an Easter egg. Executable comments.
Wait, comments that run code. How?
It involves a specific Unicode character, it's technically a carriage return, like a new line character.
Okay.
But you can use it cleverly inside a comment line to basically trick the Java compiler. The compiler sees the character, processes the rest of the line differently, and suddenly the code after it in the comment gets executed.
No way. That's hilarious. Why would anyone do that?
Mostly just for fun, I think. Or maybe, as one person apparently said, to troll your colleagues. A little bit of Java humor hidden in the spec.
That's brilliant. It shows Java isn't all serious corporate battles and complex machinery.
Exactly. There's a bit of personality hidden in there, too.